Well, summer is often one of the busiest times to travel by plane, and getting to your destination could be even more challenging because of the U.S. pilot shortage. According to some experts, a combined 14,000 pilots are needed for commercial, military, and cargo planes over the next 8 years in order to fill the gap. And a Catholic school in Ohio has introduced a program to help. Walsh University is partnering with a flight school in Akron, Ohio, to offer higher education and to start on the 1,500 hours required by the FAA to become a pilot. The goal, obtaining a pilot's license and a college degree. Now we go now to Dr. Timothy Collins, president of Walsh University in North Canton, Ohio. Dr. Collins, great to have you on. First off, tell us a little bit more about the pilot shortage, what's behind it, and the implications here.
Yeah, Tracy, hi. Thank you so much for having me today. So the pilot shortage, as we came out of the pandemic, we actually found ourselves where a lot of pilots had either retired, been furloughed, and pivoted. So we came out, we had about an 8,000 pilot shortfall. Despite record-breaking hiring last year with 5,500 pilots, this year we're going to have a 13,000 pilot shortfall. It'll grow to 24,000 next year, on its way to 32 to 50,000. And basically what has happened, we're all feeling this, is we're already returned to pre-pandemic levels of air travel. So we're seeing thousands of flight delays. That's more than doubled in the last 5 years from what it used to be. Currently, there are 700 airplanes that support regional airlines that are parked. 75% of the nation's airports have reduced air service from what they used to have. And all of this comes from the fact that we have this shortfall in the pilot force that we need. So what we are doing here at Walsh University, continuing this 935-year Catholic tradition in higher education, we're trying to use ingenious thinking in helping to solve a problem for the good, these deep problems. So we have partnered, and we're trying to create a model that any university anywhere in the country with any flight school can immediately serve to address this problem that we have.
Yeah, so I'm curious, though, how did a Catholic school in North Canton, Ohio, become involved in combating this shortage of pilots? And are there other colleges in the U.S. that offer the same type of program?
So in the U.S., we do have some universities that offer aviation programs and are addressing this. But in almost all cases, those universities own the airplanes, they own the airfield. And so Walsh University got involved in this because we recognize this is one of those deep quandaries that are facing the world today. And we try to remember that one of the roles, one of the services that we provide in Catholic higher education is helping to address these all for the common good. And so as we looked at where this shortage was and what we could do about it, that's how we got on this path of trying to address that problem. Aviation accounts for 4% of the global domestic product, the GDP, globally. And so this is a major problem for us. So we feel this is the right place for us to put some effort and energy on trying to address this problem for everyone, which has been a hallmark of Catholic higher education for 935 years.
Yeah, so I'm curious, what's it take to be a pilot? Tell us a little bit about that, and what's the response been so far?
Yeah, the response has been great. So what it takes, there's a lot of, age requirements. As you mentioned, there are 1,500 hours is what it normally takes. But based on your level of education, you can reduce the hourly requirement that you need in order to fly for the commercial airlines. So it's 1,500 hours if you don't have a college degree. It's 1,250 hours you can start flying if you have an associate's degree, but only 1,000 hours if you have a bachelor's degree. That could be 3 to 5 year delay in just trying to build up the flight time necessary. But there's medical requirements as well as the intellectual requirements, as well as routine certification and how you fly airplanes. All of that is required. That we need to honor that with what the FAA is requiring, and that's all about safety. But, the problem is going to be exacerbated, Tracy, because during the next 15 years, almost half of the pilot workforce will be retiring. So the pilot has to retire if you're flying commercially at age 65. So as we run up against that with half the workforce now within that 15-year window, this problem is just going to continue to expand. And we need aviation, we need air service, not just in the commercial airlines, but also, as you mentioned, in logistics, how we move things around. You can think of FedEx, UPS, all the airlines that move packages. And it's a demand that needs to be met to help serve everyone else. And so that's why we're involved with it. as a Catholic university. So, but unlike a university that's trying to own all the assets, we tried to find a way through a partnership where I don't have to own an airplane, I don't have to own an airfield, but I can partner with others. And currently there's almost 1,000 flight schools in the country. So if we could find 1,000 universities that wanted to partner with 1,000 different flight schools, and we'll show them all the regulatory hurdles, all the things that have to be done to overcome. If they started partnering, suddenly now we have 1,000 more places that are actually addressing this immediate urgent need.
All right, we are almost out of time, but if anybody's watching, they're curious about the program, they want to apply, how can they do so?
So the easiest thing to do is you go to my website here at Walsh University, walsh.edu. American Winds in Akron is our partner here locally, and you can go right and talk to them. And we're crafting the program now here locally, and we hope by the end of the fall that we can get out into America and start talking about what we've discovered in terms of helping others to try to do the same thing. This is something we've always done in Catholic higher education, is how do we solve problems and then share it to help everyone else. But just reach out at Walsh University. You'll find us on the internet.
All right, sounds great. Dr. Collins, thank you so much. And I know that you are in the Air Force, and we thank you for your service, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, Tracy, thank you so much. Swords up.